Round 9 of the Australian Baseball League season continues tonight here in Brisbane as the Bandits continue their battle for Northeast Division supremacy against the Canberra Cavalry. With Australian silver medalist Paul Gonzalez, I'm Eric Bremer. Thanks for joining us tonight for the final Bandits.tv broadcast of the regular season. We hope to bring you playoff baseball, but first things first, the Bandits need to clinch a playoff spot. In a little more than a week, there will be no more regular season baseball, and there are 6 teams within 2.5 games of each other in the standings right now. The Bandits lost last night. They were just flat out outplayed by the Cavalry, who need to win this series to have the tiebreaker.
Yeah, and a credit to Kent. He threw a brilliant ball game and once again acknowledged 300 strikeouts for his career. Bandits will now step it up, and right now it's a time you got to treat this as a playoff game. So almost treat this as a semifinal or a final game. This series is important to the Bandits if they want to try to repeat as the Collecting Shield champions for the 4th year in a row.
For the second consecutive night, it's a battle of 2 left-handed starters. Travis Blackley goes for the Bandits, and Kyle Kinman goes for the Cavalry. Kinman making just his second start. Blackley, obviously a grizzled veteran. Blackley's been great. You look at the season numbers there, an ERA of 3.12. His last time out, 7 innings of 1-run ball. His last time against these Cavalry, 6 innings of 5-hit, 1 unearned run ball. But the issue for him has nothing to do with him. He just hasn't gotten a whole lot of offensive run support.
No, and look, and I agree with you. His outings have been outstanding. He's probably where David wants him this part of the season. He's pitched absolutely brilliant this year. And right now, offensively, they're swinging the bats well. If they can produce like they did last night and minimize their mistakes on field, they give them a chance to win this ball game.
Cavalry took game 1 of the series last night by a score of 11-6, and in doing so pulled into a tie for first place with the Sydney Blue Sox, who lost their game last night after a long rain delay against Auckland. The Cavalry have a record of 20-13. The Bandits are just a game back at 19-14, but right now they're in 3rd place, and they would be in line to play in the wild card game if the season ended today. Cavalry lineup begins with Michael Francoso. He's followed by Cam Warner, Craig Massey, Zach Wilson, David Candelas, Michael Krause, Boss Monaroa, Kyle Perkins, and Kuki Aoyagi. Similar look for the Cavalry, and the Bandits going with largely the same lineup as well. We'll give you that in the bottom half of the first inning. Michael Francoso leads it off, the left-handed hitting shortstop. Had an RBI single in last night's ball game. First pitch on the corner, a called strike at 6:03 local time. 27 degrees Celsius here in Brisbane. Winds 16 kilometers per hour from the northeast, blowing out to right field. Blackley will give you a fastball, a cutter, and a curveball as he misses for ball 1. Swing and a miss. The count is 1-2. Blackley, 36 years old, major league experience with 5 teams. 42 strikeouts and 43 1/3 this year. Bandits lost his last start against Auckland. That was the extra inning loss, the only loss against the Tuatara in round 8.
The real big thing with Blackley is this year he's seemed to settle in really quickly to his starts, and I like the strikeout ratios to innings, and that means he's pitching to a lot of contact and utilizing his defense, and I think that's why he's been so effective and able to pitch so deep into ball games this year.
2-2 misses just outside, and the count runs full. Cam Warner waits on deck. Hit hard on the ground. Diving stop at first by Sutherland. He takes it to the base for the first out of the ball game. David Sutherland didn't get the start last night, but he's back at first tonight, and that pays dividends immediately as he cuts down the extra base hit attempt.
Yeah, that's a big-time play right there. The difference, and that's what his point of difference is defensively. He is so solid there on the corner, both on receiving the ball from the fielders as well as picking it, and that's a big-time play because that ball gets down the line. We got a man on second base and nobody out.
Cam Warner steps in. Warner hitless, 0 for 5 in last night's round 9 opener. First pitch from Blackley, bounced in the dirt, ball 1. Warner had a great game defensively last night at third base as he takes off the inside corner, 2-0. Good crowd on hand tonight. If it's not a sellout, it's close as the crowd continues to fill in. 3-0 the count.
I'll give Cam a little bit of raps. He's actually now fallen into the category of when we talk about pathway programs. He's a young player out of Canberra that went through the collegiate programs. They've now signed with Detroit. Chance to see the pitch. And now, he's gone the hard journey. And he went junior college, then he ended up getting picked up by a 4-year school. And now with the Detroit, now he's back home and making contributions. And it's a great story because it shows that there's so many different pathways to pro ball and opportunities, and he's a classic example of that in the Australian Baseball League.
Fouled at the plate off the catcher, Danny De La Calle. Blackley himself coming out of Melbourne. An Australian product and a success story in the growth of this game down under. 3-2 the count.
And that's what I think is so great about the league is the mentorship of these athletes now for the next generation of athletes. And we talk about part of our national pathway programs. These guys are classic examples.
Payoff pitch misses up. Warner draws a walk with 1 down. He's the first base runner of the ball game.
And that just right there, just potentially being too fine in that situation, missing out of the zone, trying instead of actually throwing a strike and forcing him to put the ball in play. So once again, we talked about the patience of the Canberra Cavalry hitters. Last night they were extremely patient, but the thing that was most impressive with me was the fact that how they hit to situations and they were able to generate offense.
Craig Massey had only 1 hit last night, but he was an active factor in Canberra's offense. He finished 1 for 2 with a single, 3 walks, and 4 runs scored as he takes ball 1. Defensively for the Bandits, we mentioned De La Calle behind home plate, Sutherland at first, Riley Unruh is at second, TJ Bennett at third, Logan Wade at short, and Bernard, Campbell, and Ellis across the outfield left to right. Travis Blackley picked off 3 batters in short order his last time out. 3 base runners, and I can imagine that Canberra saw that, and they will be a bit more conservative on the bases tonight. There's a called strike. The count is 1-1. Between Blackley on the mound, 3 pickoffs, and De La Calle behind home plate, who threw out 3 base stealers at second base last night, Bandits must feel like they're in pretty good shape to shut down the running game.
Yeah, De La Calle did a brilliant job last night in that ball game. He had a couple of big jumps by Canberra and able to gun down both runners with absolute laser beams to second base and really shut down the running game. They just unfortunately couldn't stop the offensive strength of Canberra, and they were just too powerful for the Bandits last night.
Dangerous count to a dangerous hitter. The 2-1. Tap to second. Unruh tags. There's an out, and he throws to first to complete the double play. That play requires some timing, and Riley Unruh handled it well. The 1-out walk is quickly erased, and the Cavalry do not score in the top half of the first inning. Suki Bowl replay shows you the swipe tag, and the out call was made. Bandits coming to bat after this. You're watching Bandits.tv.
Can't you see my heart is lost without you? And your kisses make me love you more. and your kisses make me love you more. Can't you hear the sound of love and desire? Kiss me, baby, touch me. Kiss me, baby, love me.
Scoreless as we go to the bottom of the first inning here at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. The Coran Cove Brisbane Bandits will send a lineup against the Cavalry that begins with Riley Unruh, followed by Winton Bernard, Andrew Campbell, TJ Bennett, Logan Wade, Mitch Nielsen, Danny De La Calle, David Sutherland, and Mitch Ellis. There are the numbers for Kyle Kinman, and it's a small sample size. He has thrown only 11 innings. This will be just his second start this year. Kinman, 28 years old, spent the 14 to 16 seasons in the Atlanta Braves organization. Originally out of Omaha, Nebraska, went to Bellevue University and spent this past year with the Lincoln Salt Dogs in his home state in the American Association.
You can see the strategies from Canberra. A heavy left-handed hitting lineup. Obviously, offensively, they're stronger with your Lutz and your Sutherlands on the left side, plus your Wades and even Unruh. So to force the Bandits to switch to the other side.
Unruh, a switch hitter, fouls it back. The count remains 0-2. Unruh homered last night.
Yeah, he did, and I got a chance to watch him take BP today, and I tell you what, the ball's coming off his bat really well and staying through the baseball extremely well. So I see he's locked in. And
as he swings and misses, an early strikeout for the lefty Kyle Kinman.
But I like the move by Canberra in this situation. It would make sense in particularly when they're looking at playoff top push baseball, if you can force them to make changes. Here's the pitch, and see the pitch up out of the strike zone, and Unruh chases it for out number one.
That'll bring in Winton Bernard. Bernard in his second round with the Bandits, batting .241. Hard hit down the left field line, but well foul. 0-1 the count. Cavalry got 7 great innings from Stephen Kent last night. Kent improved to 7-0. A couple milestones for him, becoming the first Canberra pitcher to get 7 wins in a season, and the second Canberra pitcher to collect 300 career strikeouts in the ABL. As a result of his 7 strong innings, and he bumped up the pitch count quite a bit last night, bullpen is well rested and ready to go should Kinman have a short start.
Yeah, he did a brilliant job for Canberra, and once again a classy individual that pitched a long time for Australia and with the Braves organization as well, and he had a quality start and exactly what you want your number one to do against another tough left-handed pitcher last night in Bollinger.
2-2 the count to Winton Bernard. Kyle Perkins is catching Kyle Kinman. Mo Naroa at first, Massey at second, Warner at third, Francoso at short. 2-2, Bernard sticks the bat out, defensive swing on the outer half, and he grounds to first, where Mo Naroa takes it for the second out. Left to right across the outfield for Canberra, it's Aoyagi, Krause, and Candelas. 2 up, 2 down for Kinman, and now Andrew Campbell takes his turn at bat. Campbell batting .302. Last night had a 3-hit game, going 3 for 4 with a walk. Bandits led in the early innings yesterday. They had a 4-2 lead going to the third inning. Canberra scored the next 7 runs and held off a late Brisbane rally in the 8th inning for the victory. 1-1 the count.
Just looking at Soupy's numbers, over the last 10 games. He's 40 at bats, 15 hits, 9 runs, 5 RBIs and a home run, hitting a 375 clip. So he's transitioned well from that leadoff spot now with the shuffle in the lineup, and been really the mainstay for the Bandits in that 3-hole.
Top 2 hitters in manager David Nielsen's lineup, Riley Unroe and Winton Bernard, did not begin the year with the club. Unroe arrived week 3. Bernard arrived just last week. And Andrew Campbell coaxes a walk with 2 down in the first inning. The Bandits, like the Cavalry, extend the first with a walk.
And that's always a good sign. Anytime you've got a left-handed guy in your lineup hitting against a tough left-handed pitcher and able to, yesterday had a big night going 3 for 4 against another tough left-hander in Kent, and then right there drawing the walk, says that he's staying through the baseball, not coming off it, and really seeing the ball well. This is another guy that's been seeing the ball well for the Bandits all year.
TJ Bennett and Zach Wilson, the 2 cleanup hitters tonight, may be the best 2 cleanup hitters in the league. Bennett takes a called strike. He's batting .289 on the year. 10 homers, 34 runs batted in. Last night went 1 for 5 with a single and a run scored. The 0-1 on the corner, 0-2.
2 really good pitches right there, and it's always tough. First time for a lefty to see a lefty for the first time, so he's seeing 2 different pitches, fastball down the middle, and then you got a little bit of a wrinkle there, so now he's going to have to battle with 2.
Kinman set. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A pair of strikeouts and a scoreless first for Kyle Kinman. And we go to the second here in Brisbane, scoreless, between the Cavalry and the Bandits.
Careful, out there, champ.
How good is this?
Beautiful night for baseball here at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. Canberra needs a series win to draw to a season series tie with the Bandits. Bandits took 3 of 4 in Canberra earlier this year, and with the division as tight as it is, that may make the difference, Paul Gonzalez.
It is tight, and like you said last night, with Sydney losing, big opportunity for the Bandits to try to capitalize. Wasn't able to capitalize last night, and once again, Auckland continues to play good baseball, winning that ball game 6-0, 12 hits against 7 and no runs. So once again, outstanding job by Auckland, and that's the 5th loss in a row for Sydney. So you talk about somebody that ran away with the lead, and now all of a sudden we've got an even playing field.
Cavalry have won 11 of 14, including that sweep at the hands of the Blue Sox that you just mentioned. That would give them the tiebreaker if those 2 teams end up at the top of the division. First pitch swinging is Zach Wilson. He hits it hard to short. Wade with a nice pickup, and he has plenty of time to retire the Cavalry cleanup man for the first out.
Once again, you get a chance to see, and that's exactly what Blackley wants to do. If he can force these guys to swing and put the ball in play, and we talked about pitching to soft contact. Good play by Logan on a tough backhand, but once again, Goofy's able to pick that, and that's out number 1. But once again, 1 pitch, 1 out.
Wilson batting .341 entering play tonight. He homered in last night's game, his league-leading 12th of the year. Anytime you can get him out quickly, you've done a good job. Here's David Candelas. Called strike, begins his at-bat.
You're right, Zach. He's had a brilliant year, home runs, and he plays in a big yard too, but .341 clip. He's been an absolute offensive threat all year.
Candelas batting .264. He takes again. 1-1 the count. Candelas a pair of hits and a walk in last night's series opening victory. Blackley's next. This is the inside corner.
I'll give you a little bit of insight on Candelas. So obviously we talked about national representative for Team Australia. Been one of the mainstays as far as offensive threats in the league. And his last 10 games, he's 17 for 32, 1 home run, 3 RBIs. He's hitting .531. So he had a slow start, but you see how much of an impact he is in the offensive lineup of this team. So if you take away that component, .531 over the last 10 games, he's now hitting to his abilities.
3-1 the count. Blackley a strike thrower, but he's in danger of walking another batter. Here's a well-hit fly ball to center, but right at Campbell. And the Bandits center fielder hauls it in, 2 up, 2 down.
And you'll take that out. You know, Blackley falls behind in the count. We talk about McCoy was talking about he needs the strength and conditioning high performance manager for the Bandits this year. We talked about, you know, with all the metrics and analytics and everything else going around in baseball, he's talking about velo and exit velocity. He said, what measure do we have now on exit velocity off the bat of guys that throw to soft contact? That's a huge to look at. Is guys, maybe the velo's not there, but if the exit velocity is down on your hitters, he's being effective and obviously doing something right.
Michael Kraus, the speedy center fielder, has 10 hits in 19 at-bats since joining the Cavalry.
I don't think we can get these guys.
0-1 taken for a strike, and the count is 0-2.
He's one that I want to watch. Last year in the matchup in the finals, Kraus was on this ball club, and obviously he's just recently rejoined the ball club. He had a read on Blackley, and I don't know if he's got a tell that he's seen, but it'll be interesting to see in this ball game, and if he finds a way to get on, will he have the same read, or will Blackley make the adjustments and to Kraus?
Reached base his last 3 plate appearances last night, finishing 2 for 4 with a walk. The 1-2. Check swing on a pitch in the dirt.
A lot of times, you were talking about a player that I played against, and he was playing for Team USA in '97, Tyner. And Tyner was probably the fastest person I've seen from the left side in a long time. We used to get him at 3.6 from the left side. Ooh, good pitch.
Feeble swing from Kraus, and a strikeout for Travis Blackley, the first Skyfleet Hino strikeout of the night. It's a 1-2-3 top of the second, and the Bandits will try and get back to the bats after this.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like. Robots. But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip. Look, kids, nature. Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car, commute in a van pool, or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate. Get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there, and you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
Scoreless in Brisbane as we go to the bottom of the second inning at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. Paul Gonzalez and Eric Bramer with you tonight for Game 2 of Round 9 in the Australian Baseball League season. Bandits find themselves in third place in their division, but just a game behind Canberra and Sydney. They wrap up the season on the road against last place Geelong Korea. You can't take anything for granted, but the Bandits, if they can take care of business, at least split the series here, they should feel pretty good about their chances going forward.
They do, but exactly what you said and what I talked about earlier in the piece, the Bandits need to focus on this series. They need minimum 2, but ideally 3 out of the next 3 games, and put themselves in a positive position. Baseball's too fickle. You cannot make any assumptions going into that last series. And right now it's who wants it more.
Switch hitting shortstop Logan Wade leads it off for the Bandits against Kyle Kinman. Kinman allowed just a 2-out walk and a scoreless first. Strike followed by a ball to the Bandits shortstop, who had 3 hits in last night's ball game to bump the season average up to 366. Hot smash to third. Warner fields and throws high, offline. Moanaroa has to leave the base, and Wade will reach on what should be a throwing error by the Cavalry third baseman.
Yeah, good job by Logan right there, and that's when you just don't take anything for granted. You hustle everything out. He was able to get down the line and beat that out, and that, once again, that forces one of the few errors that Canberra didn't make hardly any yesterday, and all of a sudden can they capitalize on the mistakes.
Mitch Nielsen still looking for his first hit of the year. Made his first start last night. Missed the first couple months of the season due to injury, and made a few plate appearances, pinch hitting appearances in round 8 against Auckland. (2-0) the count to Mitch Nielsen, who, when healthy, is one of the biggest bats in this lineup.
He is, and he's been a big loss, to be honest with you. I mean, you look at the offense this year, it hasn't been as strong as we've seen in previous seasons, and 2 key factors, obviously losing Logan Wade early, and this man right here at the plate in Mitch Nielsen. 2 guys that have been impact bats in the Bandits lineup for the last 3-4 years.
One thing that will help him in his road to recovery is seeing pitches, and he has seen 4 here without lifting the bat off his shoulder. 3 balls followed by a strike.
Well, it's important. I mean, always tough from a long break to then transition and get back in the lineup. You know, everyone else is, we're talking the back end of the season. They've got 100+ at bats.
Line drive, right field, base hit. Mitch Nielsen has had plenty of hits in his ABL career, but that one must feel good as he gets off the schneid. The Bandits have a threat here in the second inning, 1st and 2nd with no out.
And that would feel great right there. You're talking about a break all year. When I say a break, and trying to get healthy again, and to shoot one in the right field means he's staying through the baseball, and that's exactly what David needs, because particularly with this lineup, they may see a lot of left-handed pitching in playoff situations. They'll need his bats, and they'll need his bat swinging hot.
Danny De La Calle's bat has been a pleasant surprise this year. Came into his first ABL season with a reputation as a defensive specialist behind the plate, but he's batting .278 as he drops down a good bunt here. The only play will be to first base. That's a low throw, but Moanaroa gets it off the shoe tops. Successful sacrifice for the Bandits catcher, moving Wade to third and Nielsen to second.
It's a really good bunt, and it shows how David's mind's already into playoff mindset. It's early in the ballgame, and normally he doesn't take control of a ball game this early. He likes to get to about the 5th, and then he'll take command of the ball game after the 5th when it becomes the business end. But like you mentioned, Blackley's thrown the ball well, but he's lacked offensive support. Hopefully this can help the Bandits generate some early offense.
David Sutherland, the big first baseman, made a nice defensive play to begin the ball game. Takes a called strike here. Sutherland entered as a pinch hitter in last night's ball game after starting the game on the bench. He reached on a fielder's choice. Couple of strikes, and he's in an 0-2 hole. The pitch. Fought off foul. Third baseman Warner plays even. Besides that, everyone's back. They'll concede the run. Instead, Kinman fans Sutherland. That's his 3rd strikeout of the ball game. 2 of them have come against left-handed hitters.
Look at that. That was David doing what he could do to try to manufacture and start some offense, and this is what the Bandits have struggled to do for Blackley. Now here's where I talk about where teams win finals or win grand finals, and that's having the ability to drive in runs with 2 outs.
Mitch Ellis fouls it off a foot. Ellis getting the start in right field again tonight. Ellis has been on this roster the whole year, but when he gets time in right field from here on out, it will be in place of the injured Wade Dutton, who made a dive down the right field line a week ago and suffered a shoulder injury. Bounced in the dirt. Nice stop by Perkins to keep it in front of him. Short backstop here in Brisbane, but long enough where if it gets away from the catcher, runner at third will dash towards the plate.
Probably acts as the equalizer. You got short porch to all fields and then short backstop and preventing the pass ball run.
Ellis with a line drive caught by the shortstop Francoso. Full extension to his right. He robs Ellis of a couple RBIs and a base hit, and we go to the third here in Brisbane, still scoreless. What a play by Michael Francoso, the Cavalry shortstop. Back after this.
It's always been you.
It's always been us.
Travis Blackley out there. He was a couple inches away from maybe having a 2-0 lead. Instead, we remain scoreless. Paul Gonzalez, we have extolled the virtues of Michael Francoso at shortstop last night and now again tonight. He's impressed with the glove. He gives you enough with the bat, and he is an excellent all-around player. Right now, he's the only reason we don't have a 2-0 Bandits lead.
Yeah, that was a big-time play, and we commented on him in game one and how smooth he is around short, but he's basically been a difference maker at shortstop for the Canberra Cavalry, and once again an outstanding play to prevent 2 runs from scoring.
Boss Monaroa leads it off for the Cavalry. Monaroa batting .246. Got the series opener off, and he takes a called strike here.
Usually the golden rule is even if it's a strike and a guy misses it, they won't usually get the call. So Monaroa had a little bit of a laugh right there. He probably realized it was a strike, but anytime a catcher boxes it, they usually hopefully get the benefit of the drop ball.
The 0-1. Check swing inside for a ball. Tom West, the acting crew chief, calls balls and strikes tonight. James Shields is at first, and Chad Pinder is at third on the umpiring crew. Toby Pinder, 1-2 the count.
That's what I'm more impressed with the second pitch that Blackley threw. He went big wrinkle. The second pitch, he gave him a little bit of an inner half flyby, and what that does is plants a seed on left-handed hitters to protect the inner half and opens up the outer half.
The 1-2. Popped foul back our way and out of play.
And that right there, it's an in-between swing by Monaroa, and you want to talk about big-time power. They used to refer to him, his name is Little Poppy when he was with Boston. So obviously after Big Poppy from Boston, he was signed with Boston for a number of years, but he does swing the bat and he does not get cheated at the plate.
2-2 now the count.
But anytime you can get a lefty, whether they throw 82 to 92, anytime they can run that two-seamer up around the hands, it starts to plant the seed, and sometimes you get lefties cheating on their outer half and they'll chase that cutter or that slider away.
Monaroa homered off the Bandits back in round 4. He's early and he chops it foul.
And that's what you want to see. Anytime you see a lefty and he's hooking balls that, you got a potential of getting him out on rollover on a breaking ball, or potentially get him out on a cutter away.
The 2-2. Hard on the ground, past the first baseman Sutherland, cut off by Unruh, and the shift pays off. How about Riley Unruh in shallow right field, flagging down the roller and getting it on to first. Almost tripped over himself there, but that's not typically where you're making an off-balance throw to first base.
I tell you what, that's a big-time play right there. That is a big league play by Unruh, and that's a big league job by Blackley to cover and actually stretch and get that out. You can see right now he's going to take a little breather. This is what a veteran guy's going to do. He's just giving himself a little breather because he covered a lot of ground to get over there. But I don't think people realize how difficult that play was for Unruh. He made it look easy.
Blackley had to run from the third base side of the mound all the way to first. Here's Kyle Perkins. Perkins batting .236. Big swing and a miss on the first offering from Blackley. Perkins drew a bases-loaded walk last night, and then had a big RBI single in the top of the ninth inning, answering back after the Bandits had scored 2 and left 2 in the bottom of the eighth.
Perkins has always swung the bat well against the Bandits every year, and he's always a threat in every situation. So he's a guy you do have to be careful with, particularly here at One Hub Stadium. Excuse me.
Off the corner, 2-1.
Blackley not happy. Obviously hit his location, and that was one of the pitches last night that Bandits pitchers were hoping they were going to get, and Blackley just not a little happy with that location. But the main thing is stay there. It's a good spot for a hitter to lay off. That's still a good spot to live down in there. Hopefully you'll stay safe.
Perkins, a catcher by trade, knows how this game is played. He steps off now and steps back in. The 2-1. Up high, 3-1. Kuki Aoyagi waits on deck. Cavalry have only a walk in terms of base runners tonight, and that was quickly erased in the first on a double play. The 3-1. Lifted foul. There are the Outlaws. No chance so far tonight. Always good to have that fan presence in the ballpark. Three-2 coming from Blackley to Perkins. The pitch.
Wow.
Just missing the corner. Looked pretty good, and it hit the spot of De La Calle, but it missed the zone of Tom West, and Perkins trots down for the second walk of the ballgame issued by Blackley.
That's where Blackley just got to maintain his mound composure right there. I know he wants that pitch. He's got to stay focused. He's pitched an outstanding ball game. We're in the third inning. His efficiencies are down. Now he's got to think about, he's got number 9 hitter at the plate. He's got to focus on trying to get a ground ball and prevent the top of the order coming up with runners in scoring position.
Kuki Aoyagi batting well below 200, but he had a couple important plate appearances last night, slashing an RBI single down the right field line in the 6th, and then hitting one deep enough to right field for a sac fly in the 9th. And third base camera will give us a good view of Blackley's pickoff move if he throws over. There's a called strike, 1-1. Bandits and Cavalry have a doubleheader tomorrow, 2:30 and 6 local time. And that ends the regular season home schedule here in Brisbane. The 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Cavalry return home. They take on the Perth Heat for round 10. And the Bandits get their first look at Geelong Korea, the expansion club, based just west of Melbourne. The 1-2. Fouled back. Last night we talked about Aoyagi's swing and the weight shift from the back foot to the front foot. Much more prevalent in the Pacific game. Another 1-2. Aoyagi waits on the breaking pitch, sends it to short. On to Unruh, and the throw to first not in time. Fielder's choice retires Perkins at second. Aoyagi and his speed take Perkins' place at first with 2 down.
Yeah, really good job right there by Logan, and it was probably the speed of the ball hit. There wasn't a lot on it, so Logan had to wait for the hop and a good feed to second base to get the lead runner. So now there's 2 outs and a man on first base.
Lineup turns over for Michael Francoso. Francoso was robbed of a base hit his first time up, hitting a hard grounder to first, where Sutherland scooped it up. And then Francoso returned the favor, making a diving catch at short to strand a pair in the second. Before the first pitch, there's the pickoff move, and you could see Aoyagi stutter step, realize what was happening, and just barely getting back in time.
And that's where that move is so difficult. Blackley uses as much as he can on that 45-degree angle, and he's so deceptive at home. So see if Canberra, see if they can pick anything up early.
There it is again, this time Aoyagi not fooled.
A lot of times, and we were mentioning earlier with Tyner, and got a chance to play with a couple guys that were plus runners, and obviously I don't classify myself as a plus runner. These guys used to take really extended leads from first base, and what they would do is have a one-way lead back, and then they would shorten up and go first move. See if Canberra tries that tactic.
Line to center field. Campbell coming on. He slides, and it gets by him. It'll go all the way to the wall. Rounding third and coming home is Aoyagi. On his way to third is Francoso, and he is in with a stand-up triple that gives the Cavalry a 1-0 lead. With 2 down, that's a gamble that you're willing to make. But a little liner that had some lateral movement on it, and Francoso collects a 3-bagger to extend the inning.
And that just, once again, offensive productivity, and stayed out of a double play, and all of a sudden line driving to center field turns into 1 run, and once again Canberra continue to put pressure on the Brisbane Bandits offensively.
First hit of the ball game for the Cavalry, and of course their first run as well. Here's Cam Warner, who walked his first time up. Challenged with a high fastball, he swings and misses. Campbell plays a great center field. I don't think either of us can say that he should have played that any differently. It's just a risk that you take when there are 2 outs. It's a risk you don't take maybe when you're beginning an inning.
Yeah, he didn't get a great jump. I just watched his jump, and the ball had a bit of tail on him, and it got by him. And good job by Ellis to get back there and back him up and prevent the inside the Parker. But once again, to win ball games, you got to score runs. So Bandits need to find ways to score runs and be productive when they have opportunities.
Blackley has struck out 1 so far. 0-2 count here to Warner. The pitch. Hit in the air to center. Campbell has this one measured. He's underneath it, and he makes the catch for the 3rd out. Cavalry put together a 2-out rally, capped off with an RBI triple by Michael Francoso to take a 1-0 lead. Bandits send the top of their order up after this in the 3rd on Bandits.tv.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
Well, I'll be.
Thank you, Archer!
Yeah!
Good boy, Archer.
Canberra leads Brisbane 1-0 as we go into the bottom of the third inning at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. Riley Unroe, Winton Bernard, and Andrew Campbell due up against Kyle Kinman. He got some help from his defense to avoid a couple unearned runs in the second. Unroe struck out swinging his first time up. Switch hitting second baseman swings and misses at the 1-0 pitch. It's 1-1. Kinman needed 33 pitches to get through the first 2 innings. Called strike, it's 1-2. And keep in mind, Kinman has pitched only 11 innings in the ABL this season.
You wouldn't tell right now. He looks like he's got good command and good rhythm early in this ball game. So obviously when you kind of look at body language, his body language looks extremely positive, and he looks like he's pitching to his game plan.
Fouled off the front foot of Unroe. Missing up high, 2-2. Unroe takes in the dirt and the count runs full. Winton Bernard waiting on deck.
This is what's so important. If Unroe can find a way to get on base, this is where the offensive has an opportunity to create havoc, but top of the order's got to find a way to get on base.
Line drive down the third base line, but foul. Unroe has 4 homers on the year. 3 of them have come in the last 2 rounds. Another 3-2. Breaking pitch, and Unroe spoils it. Another 3-2, another foul. This one, Unroe just got a piece, and he sends it into Perkins, the catcher.
And that's what we're talking about, is, extending at bats. It's a second look of the Bandits lineup now, and can they make the early adjustments here in the third inning? And so far, the lefties look like he's had command of the ball game.
Another 3-2 to Unroe. Hit into left center field. It's down, and it will go all the way to the wall. It dies off the wall, and Unroe stands in at second with a gliding double to begin the third inning.
Great job by Unroe right there, and I was mentioning earlier in the piece, I got a chance to watch him take BP, and I told you how the ball was coming off his bat. Once again, exit velocity on that ball was absolutely drilled, and if we probably had deeper alleys, he's standing on third base, but a great leadoff at bat by Unroe here in the third.
Winton Bernard can tie this ball game with a base hit to the outfield. The Bandits left fielder grounded to first in the first. Before the first pitch, Kinman turns off the rubber and looks back Unroe.
Really interesting situation by Canberra. Defensively, they're playing pretty straight up, but nobody's actually holding Unruh on, who's a plus runner, so he'll be able to potentially extend his secondary.
First pitch up high and sent high in the air to shallow left. Basket catch made by Aoyagi, who froze as that ball hung up in on the hands a little bit. And though it was a late read, it was good enough to make the first out.
Yeah, he's able to just with speed alone, able to catch up and make a play. I think initially off the bat, he looked like he had crushed that ball and didn't hit it well. Hit it probably off the end of the bat. Good recovery for out number 1.
Andrew Campbell drew a walk his first time up. Trying to keep that batting average above 300 as he takes a breaking pitch for a strike. The 0-1 misses outside. Kinman comes set, a look towards second. Now another look. The 1-1, high and tight for a ball. Here's the 2-1, fouled at the plate. Kinman has struck out 3. Campbell laces it to left field. That's a base hit. Rounding third and coming home is Unruh. He scores the tying run. And Andrew Campbell continues his hot hitting with a game-tying RBI single.
Really good job right there by Soupy Campbell, and it's always tough when you go lefty-lefty, and this is when you start seeing a guy seeing the ball well, is able to stay on the baseball and shoots the ball to left field for a big RBI right there, with Unruh scoring easily.
TJ Bennett struck out swinging his first time up. He gets another crack at Kinman, who did not handle the early lead as well as he would have liked. First pitch, a fastball misses up high. That was the pitch that Bennett chased for the strikeout. He lays off here.
It'll be interesting to see. I mean, early in the piece, you had the effects of the sun. Now you no longer have the sun shadow situation, so potentially the hitters will be able to make other adjustments visually as well.
The 1-0, fouled at the plate. Perkins gets it. Campbell a threat to steal at first, but with a lefty on the mound, he may stay put. Thinking the same thing. There's a pickoff move. Kidman almost got him.
Yeah, he didn't read that too well. He kind of got hung out in no man's land. Didn't look like he was committing to second base, but it was like a deer in headlights right there. He kind of like, whoa, he's coming over. Maybe he forgot he had good speed.
The 1-1. Bennett tries to wait back on the secondary offering. He swings and misses, and it's 1-2.
Just quietly, I'm just watching the crowd starting to roll in, and we talked about potentially having a big crowd, and it looks like it's going to be another sellout tonight.
Great to see. 1-2. Bennett checks his swing and went around. He fans for the second time in as many at-bats. Big second out for Kyle Kinman, and that will leave it to Logan Wade. 4th strikeout already for Kyle Kinman. And despite his earned run struggles to this point in the season, that has been a strength. He entered with 16 strikeouts in 11 innings.
Yeah, he's got a good arm, and even his arm slot would be really tough on lefty, and that's why I acknowledge Soupy Campbell's at bat.
Wade reached on an error his first time up. First pitch swinging, he sends a lazy fly ball to right, and Candelas puts it away for the 3rd out. The Bandits get a leadoff double from Riley Unruh and a 1-out single from Andrew Campbell to tie it up as we go to the 4th.
Can't you see my heart is lost without you? And your kisses make me love you more. And your kisses make me love you more. Can't you hear the sound of love and desire? Kiss me, baby, touch me. Kiss me, baby, love me.
The Kerrang Cove Brisbane Bandits have tied up this ball game against the Canberra Cavalry. It's 1-1 as we go to the fourth inning. Travis Blackley back out there. His lone blemish, his lone hit allowed, was an RBI triple on a sinking liner to center that got by Andrew Campbell with 2 down in the third inning. He will face 3, 4, and 5 in the Cavalry lineup, beginning with Craig Massey. Massey wrapped into a double play to second his first time up. Lefty-lefty matchup, and the first pitch fastball misses up high, ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Another pitch close to the zone. Blackley visibly frustrated as he doesn't get the call. 2-0.
And that's the one he'll want. And it's kind of one of those things, you know, guy pitch, particularly in the big leagues, if he's hitting his spot, he'll want that. But if he's not going to get it, he'll have to make just some minor adjustments.
2-0, hitters count, and a chopper to short. Wade fields and throws. He makes it look easy, and there's the first out of the fourth inning.
Really good adjustment by Blackley, because obviously frustrated on the fact that he hit his location, but then he throws that little cutter right there where it looks like the same pitch in a hitting count, and able to get the soft ground ball to shortstop, and good turn by Logan Wade.
Blackley can miss bats when he needs to, but at this point in his career, again, he's 36 years old. He uses that cutter to great effect, getting it off the barrels and getting quick outs, enabling him to get deeper into the ballgame.
Well, one thing the history of the game has always proven, if you're left-handed and you still get it over the plate, you could probably pitch to about 62 years of age.
Zach Wilson wrapped to short on one pitch in his first at-bat. League's leading home run man takes inside 1-1.
Yeah, I like his approach at the plate. There's not a lot of movement with him, and he's very strong to the baseball. Really quiet base that he works with, but explosive in old school, no batting gloves, and just grip it and rip it.
Checks his swing on the fastball up. I think I'm going to go without batting gloves tomorrow for the staff BP. Mainly because I didn't bring any batting gloves with me.
We'll see if we can find a few.
2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
And that's where you do have to be careful. And once again, Blackley, a veteran arm right there. He's in a hitting count 2-1, and maybe just taking a little bit off and getting that ball to run away from him for the second strike.
The 2-2 pitch. Fouled at the plate.
I think just giving Delacaille takes a lot to hurt him, but I think he might have caught one there, and just Tommy West recognized that and just give him a little breather.
Blackley's 2-2. Up and away, 3-2. We will likely see Ryan Battaglia catch one of tomorrow's games in the doubleheader. Battaglia on the bench to start today after getting the start at first base last night. Payoff pitch coming to Zach Wilson. Swing and a miss. He got him. Second punch out of the game for Travis Blackley. He takes care of the Cavalry cleanup man for out number 2 in the 4th.
Yeah, good job right there by Blackley against a very tough hitter. Fell behind in the count. We had a chance to see the Suki Bowl replay, and it's a really good two-seamer away from him after showing him cutter, and then able to run that ball away from him. And then we talk about just as he's matured as a pitcher, doesn't always rely on velo. Now he can rely on his command.
David Candelas flew to center his first time up, and he takes a called strike to begin his second turn at bat.
And that's the one he wants right there. That's that little cutter or that fastball in on the inner half, and that really establishes and helps him open up the outer half when guys start looking inner.
Swing and a miss, 0-2. And Blackley with a little head turn as if he knew he got away with the pitch up there.
No, he actually got away. I think he missed his location, but what helped him is that first strike where he established the inner half that he can throw for a strike. All of a sudden, as a hitter plants a seed, you protect, and then you chase something away.
The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts in a 1-2-3 4th inning for Travis Blackley. We remain tied at 1 going to the bottom of the 4th.
Careful, out there, champ.
How good is this?
Tied at 1, going to the bottom of the 4th inning here in Brisbane. Mitch Nielsen, Danny De La Calle, and David Sutherland set to face Kyle Kinman, working on his 4th inning. They are in another rain delay in Sydney. They did not get that game started tonight between the Blue Sox and the Auckland Tuatara. They waited, I want to say, 2.5 hours last night before they finally resumed that game, and Sydney lost. Auckland Tuatara helping out both of these teams, as the Blue Sox are in a bit of a tailspin right now. Scoreless in the 4th in Melbourne between the Aces and the Adelaide Bite. And later tonight in Perth, it's the Heat hosting Geelong Korea. Mitch Nielsen collected a single his first time up. It's his first hit of the year. And he takes up and away ball 1. Kinman comes set. Foul. Mitch Nielsen, a switch hitter, but as he comes back from an elbow injury, I think we're going to see him mostly from the right side.
Yeah, he will. I spoke to him at batting practice last series, and really with the extension of one of the arms, and obviously the lead arm, doesn't allow him to hit comfortably from the left side, but he feels comfortable from the right.
Here's the 2-1. Popped up behind first, foul territory. Moen Aroa over for a look, but it's out of play.
I know you're probably across it, but any word on Mr. Harper and where he may land?
Sounds like Machado will be the first one to break. It's between the Phillies and the White Sox. For them. 3-2 the count to Mitch Nielsen, and both teams are making additional personnel signings. You know, they're getting Manny Machado's barber, they're signing his brother-in-law, they're trying to get these extra incentives as Nielsen takes a walk to begin the fourth.
Did you just say his barber?
Well, that's an exaggeration, but guys in other systems, like guys from the Orioles minor league developmental side who helped coach Machado, they're trying to poach them to try and incentivize Machado to choose their team. Of course, that would all be solved by just cutting a little bit bigger check, but we'll see how it shakes out. Danny De La Calle dropped down a sacrifice bunt his first time up. No sign of a bunt there. He was swinging for the fences, and he comes up empty.
He had a really good at-bat for the Bandits. He came into early in the first and second, nobody out, and laid down a good bunt. Now David will allow him to swing away freely and see if he can find a gap.
Free swing there.
Here in the fourth. Yeah, it is. Obviously, the big names, Machado and Harper, and obviously Harper, that's the big story, is where will he land and how big will that check be when he finally lands.
Infielder market settling in. Jed Lowry going to the Mets. Brian Dozier to the Nationals. 0-2 to De La Calle. He grounds it foul beyond the Canberra dugout. Pitchers on the market. Dallas Keuchel on the starting side. Craig Kimbrell on the relieving side. As De La Calle waves and misses at a pitch down and away. Strikeout number 5 for Kyle Kinman, out number 1 in the fourth.
Really good pitch right there, and looks like he turned it over. You kind of see him, ball really tumbled away from De La Calle, and it's tough to stay on, particularly when he's able to turn that ball over.
David Sutherland struck out his first time up. He takes on the inside corner a strike.
It was really interesting. I was watching MLB and they were talking about Ryan Howard from the Phillies. The first baseman was on. He was actually talking about if the Phillies did acquire the likes of a Harper or Machado, and basically saying, well, and I do agree with him. He was known for his powers. Is who do they build around him? Because in essence, one player doesn't complete the puzzle. You still need the guys that can protect him or get on base, so he allows him to have someone to drive in. Particularly the protection is probably the most important.
Sutherland checks his swing on the breaking pitch down and away, 1-2 the count. Both Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago and Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia are hitter-friendly parks. Numbers will look good there.
Numbers will look good, but also your walks will look good too. If and we look at the days of Barry Bonds in San Francisco, and basically I think at one stage they were intentionally walking in with bases loaded.
2-2. Sutherland hits it high, but in the ballpark to right field. Got underneath it, and the major league fly ball is caught by the right fielder Candelas for the second out.
But you would hate to see that scenario where it just didn't have the protection around you as a hitter, and you end up inducing a lot of walks, and you face a lot of tough pitching situations because they don't have to come at you.
Fourth inning will be left to Mitch Ellis, who was robbed of a run-scoring hit his last time up. Hardline drive to short that was caught in a dive by Francoso. He takes a called strike.
Once again, the Bandits unable to capitalize early with leadoff walk, and now Mitch is still at first base with 2 outs.
The 0-1, up and away. Kinman set. The pitch to Ellis will have to wait, as Nielsen has checked at first. I don't think Mitch has taken off here.
No, he runs okay. I don't think you may see him with 2 strikes, only to potentially allow Ellis to lead off the inning.
1-1 popped up. Foul territory, first base side. Moen Aroa is over, and he makes the two-handed catch just like they teach you in Little League for the third out. Leadoff walk does no damage. That rarely happens. We go to the 5th, still tied at 1 between the Cavalry and the Bandits.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like. Robots. But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip. Look, kids, nature. Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car, commute in a van pool, or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate. You get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there. And you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
Canberra Cavalry and Brisbane Bandits are tied at 1 as we go to the top of the 5th inning here at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. Paul and Eric with you. Thanks for joining us tonight for Game 2 of Round 9 in the Australian Baseball League season. A lot at stake here in the next week and a half, and Travis Blackley, for the second straight start, has brought his A game.
It has, and once again, 2 quality starts from 2 good lefties, and really the tell is Bandits weren't able to capitalize early with 2nd and 3rd and nobody out. Canberra came up with a big hit with 2 outs.
First pitch swinging is Michael Krause. He hits it hard on the ground towards short. Wade fields and throws. That's a quick first out in the 5th inning. Travis Blackley will take as many of those as he can get as he tries to go deep into this ballgame.
But the big thing is both pitchers have done an outstanding job tonight of pitching out of trouble and getting ahead in the count and getting early outs in the innings.
Blackley at 63 pitches. He has allowed only 1 hit. It was the RBI triple off the bat of Michael Francoso in the 3rd on the missed dive attempt by Campbell in center field. Here's boss Mo Naroa, the big first baseman for the Cavalry. He grounded to 2nd into the shift his first time up, and he takes a strike. For Blackley, 65 pitches, 38 for strikes. The 0-1 misses down. Pull shift on again for Mo Naroa. Blackley set. The pitch. Down in the dirt. For the Cavalry, 1 run on 1 hit. For the Bandits, 1 run on 3 hits. Very different feel from last night's ball game, where there was a lot of early run scoring. Cavalry eventually prevailed 11-6. 2-1, hard on the ground towards first, and a high hop off the chest of Sutherland. It'll go for an infield single. And right in the baseline, you never know if that hop is going to get into a footprint. It looked like it happened there. Either that or off the very front of the base. Hopefully David Sutherland is okay. He's going to have a bruise, we know that.
Yeah, it came up on him, and it probably looks like it hit a foot mark right there. Didn't hit the base, but if he's not 6'6", 6'7", it probably hits him right between the eyes. So good job of staying in front of it and prevents the ball getting down the line. It keeps the double play in order, but once again, Canberra continue to find ways to put runners on the bag.
Danny De La Calle, the catcher, comes out to chat with Blackley. Perhaps to give Sutherland some more time, perhaps to talk about the upcoming at-bat.
I think a bit of both. It's Sutherland, then also settled Blackley in. Once again, he got exactly what he wanted. He got a ground ball. It came up on Goofy, who normally comes up with that, but that's a bad hop. Good job of staying with it.
Kyle Perkins worked a 3-2 walk his first time up. There's a fastball for a strike, 0-1. Mo Naroa, not a threat to steal at first, but You can never discount the ability of Travis Blackley to deceive someone with his pickoff move.
I think Canberra comes in with a good book on him. You've seen them. They've actually got really good leads, and they're one-way back. So obviously they've got their book. And right there, even Monterey, big guy's not going anywhere with not a big extended lead. His first movement is back to the bag to allow him to get there safely.
0-2 the count to Kyle Perkins. Blackley from the stretch. The pitch, down and in. Blackley got through 7 innings last time out against Auckland, allowing 1 run on 7 hits. Bandits lost that game 3-2 in 10 innings. The 1-2. Chopped weakly left side, charging is Bennett. He goes to second for the lead runner. No chance to get the double play. But a smart play by T.J. Bennett, knowing who the runner was at first, to get the fielder's choice.
Yeah, it's a good job right there, and he did the right thing. You don't rush it, and the golden rule, and make sure you get the lead runner, and it keeps the runner at score position. Ball wasn't hit hard enough to convert to, but good job by T.J. to give him a good feed.
2 down for Kuki Aoyagi, who reached on a fielder's choice and scored his first time up. First pitch. Popped up behind first. Second baseman Unruh is back in shallow right field. Backpedaling, he makes the catch for the 3rd out. The infield single off the shoulder of Sutherland does no damage, and Travis Blackley puts up another 0 in the 5th. We go to the bottom half. Halfway home here in Brisbane, tied at 1.
It's always been you.
It's always been us.
Full house here at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus, tied at 1 between Canberra and Brisbane as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Kyle Kinman still out there for the Cavalry. 4 solid innings in his 2nd start of the year. And he will try and get through 5 with his offense silenced to a degree by Travis Blackley.
I think tonight is who's going to take advantage of opportunities. Neither team have had big opportunities, but they have been able to put a 1 spot on the board each. But both pitchers have done an outstanding job tonight, and who's going to find the chink in their armor?
Riley Unruh leads it off. The Bandits' first place hitter collected a double to left center his last time up. He's 1 for 2 with a run scored. He takes up high ball 1. Melbourne has just taken a 2-0 lead on Adelaide. That game in the top of the 5th. 1-0 pitch, chopped foul up the third base line. Shane Watson makes the nice barehanded pickup.
Good pickup by Shane. Played a little bit of 3-bagger for the Bandits a few years back, and he reckons, and I say he's advised me that with the condition of the grounds, that Cooper Thompson and his team, he could still field today.
Swing and a miss. The count is 1-2. Well, I'm going to bring my glove tomorrow to staff BP, and when I'm not in the cage, I'm going to take my turn. We'll see how I do.
Fair enough. We'll see it. I think everyone will look like a golden glove here on this diamond.
1-2, fisted into center field. Riley Unroe has his second hit. First one was a lot better hit than this one, but it's a leadoff single, and that is once again the advantage of just putting the bat on the ball. You never know what might happen.
Yeah, Tommy West will go out there and he'll replace that ball. A lot of times
it's probably got a knot in it.
Yeah, it'll come off the end and it'll potentially have a cut on it, and some pitchers actually use that to advantage. See if Tommy puts that in the bag or flicks that away. It looks like he's having an inspection of it and put it back in the bag. So obviously it's still good to go, and probably at the big league level that one goes away and becomes a souvenir.
That wasn't a crack of the bat so much as it was a thump.
Yeah, but you know what? At the tail end of the season, it's a line drive up the middle tonight.
Wynton Bernard is 0 for 2. He gets jammed on the first offering and sends it foul.
And that's what the Bandits need. They need leadoff men on, and Unroe leads off. Mitch Nielsen had a leadoff walk in the fourth, and they weren't able to advance him. Now can Wynton find a way to advance Unroe?
Bandits aren't a base-stealing team as Unroe was checked back, but Riley a few years ago led this team in swipes. The 0-1 pitch. Bernard takes a strike, and it's 0-2. Wynton didn't like that. Neither did the Bandits' dugout.
Now he's got to bear down, falling behind in the count, and try to protect the strike zone.
The 0-2. He checks his swing and his body. I think his body went around more than the bat did on that breaking pitch down and in.
Yeah, it's a good job of laying off a tough pitch. We talked about late action on pitches last night, and he has a late action on his breaking ball, which is always tough to lay off of.
1-2 popped up, foul territory first base side. It'll go out of play. Cavalry struck first with a run in the top of the third inning. Michael Francoso hit an RBI triple past the diving Andrew Campbell in center field. Bandits answered back in the bottom half of the third, getting an Unroe double and a Campbell RBI single. Another 1-2, another pop-up. This one should be playable on the infield. Catcher Perkins comes out, and usually the pitcher gets called off, but Kyle Kinman was best positioned to make the play. And looking at his teammates, he's wondering why no one took care of that for themselves.
You can tell he's played some outfield, or he's played some positioning before, because he didn't go anywhere. Get a chance there in the front row. You got Ian Healy, probably one of the best wicket keepers in Australia. And he was at the ball game tonight, and
eating nachos.
And he's in the Empire Jerky personal suite or box tonight.
Andrew Campbell has reached base both times, and the first with a walk, in the third with an RBI single. He takes inside ball one.
But you're right. Normally in that situation, pitchers have always been conditioned in spring training, point, get out of the way. He decided, no, I'll take this one myself.
2-0. Well, I think he would have liked to have gotten out of the way, but no one took charge in his place, and it would have otherwise dropped in the middle of the infield.
I'll tell you what, Perkins went a long ways, and normally it's forbidden zone for catchers to venture that far out, but so everybody was given a go and decided to wave everybody off.
The 2-0. 3-0. TJ Bennett waiting on deck.
Soupy giving a look over to Watto in the situation, seeing if he potentially gets the green light and has an opportunity to unleash on a potential good pitch here.
If he had the green light, he didn't use it. He takes a called strike right down the middle, and it's 3-1. The 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. Campbell draws his second walk. Third walk allowed by Kinman. That pushes Unroe to second and gives the Bandits a man in scoring position. Cleanup hitter coming up and coming out. And someone from the Cavalry dugout. And this looks like Brian Grenning.
And right there, it's a good timeout in this situation. Grinning, longtime Cavalry pitcher and the mainstay for the organization, and amazing history with the organization as a starter. And great to see him back in uniform in a coaching capacity, able to continue to download all that, what we call IP, intellectual property, back down to the next generation. But just settling his arm down. He's got now first and second. TJ hasn't had a lot of success against him tonight. Just remind him of the situation, but remember that TJ's still a threat at the plate.
Brian Grenning was honored in a pregame ceremony when the Bandits went to Canberra a little more than a month ago.
He's one of the better competitors in Canberra baseball history. Obviously, one of the mainstays and great competitor on the bump. And like I said, it's always nice to see those competitors now sharing their IP with the next generation.
Big opportunity here for TJ Bennett. Ball one misses down her way. Bennett has a pair of strikeouts in his 2 at-bats. Good speed on the bases with Unruh at second and Campbell at first. The 1-0 pitch taken again. 2-0. And you don't want to take the bat out of the hands of your cleanup hitter, but Bennett may just wait for a strike before he locks back into these pitches.
Yeah, look, he might, but then because he can hit balls out of the ballpark and the wind's slightly blown out to right.
The 2-0. There's a big swing, and Bennett got it up high on the right leg. Looked like it was above the ankle but below the knee. And there's not a whole lot of meat on the bone there as we take another look. No, that got him right on the ankle bone, it looked like.
Yeah, he wears that protective guard, so he probably just got in there. He'll be okay. Those will leave a little mark, but it's part of the tools of the trade. So he'll adjust now, and he's still in a hitting count. See if he can take advantage of the hitting count here with first and second and 1 out.
Bennett among the league leaders with 10 home runs. He leads the league with 34 runs batted in. After a quick jaunt, he steps back in. Kinman delivers. Looking in a fastball count. Bennett instead gets a wrinkle, and it's a strike. 2-2.
Here's where the Bennetts need to find a way to capitalize. We talk about Canberra in game 1 took advantage of opportunities. Bandits have a threat here in the 5th with first and second, and now they got the meat of the order at the plate.
A turn towards second. Nobody covering, and Unruh was about 5 feet away from the base. The 2-2 pitch to TJ Bennett. Foul back. Bandits trying to even up this series at a game apiece after dropping last night's opener. Another 2-2 to Bennett. He takes up high, and that's a close pitch. The count runs full.
It'd be interesting to see. I don't know if David will, but you've got speed at second and you've got speed at first. It is a 3-2 count. You could potentially play aggressive baseball, trusting your hitter in this situation and get runners moving, but then you potentially run into a double play if he lines out. So see how David plays his hand.
The payoff pitch to Bennett. Called strike 3. And that's just out number 2. Perkins was about to trot off the field with the baseball, and his teammates got his attention just in time. Bennett with his 3rd strikeout. Breaking pitch down and away, and we'll see if this was a strike. Yeah, that's a pretty good pitch.
Yeah, good pitch, and it's not what you're looking for in a 3-2 count in that situation. Threw him a wrinkle, and that's just, it's not fair. So looks like they may make a pitching change.
Well, they have to now. Keith Ward comes out, and Kinman will depart after 4 2/3. Great start for Kyle Kinman. He can't win the ball game. He may lose it, but he pitched well tonight, and the ERA will go down quite a bit. More on the new Canberra pitcher after this on Bandits.tv.
Careful, out there, champ.
How good is this?
Yuki Kuniyoshi enters in an Alderley higher pitching change for the Canberra Cavalry, with runners at first and second and 2 down in the 5th in a tie ball game. Kyle Kinman done after 4 2/3. He allowed 1 run so far on 4 hits. He walked 3 and struck out 6. He gave his team a good chance to win, though he is responsible for both runners on base. Kuniyoshi 0-3 on the year with a 5.09 ERA. This will be appearance number 14, 13th out of the pen, and 3rd against the Bandits. He faced Brisbane twice in Canberra in early December, allowing 5 hits and 2 runs, 1 earned in 3 2/3 innings. Logan Wade was not on the active roster for the Bandits back then, so this will be his first time seeing him. Wade will be turned around to the left side after taking his first 2 at-bats as a right-handed hitter.
Once again, great job by Kyle. He pitched an outstanding ball game for the Cavalry, and really, even up to this state, he looked like he's in total command. Canberra decided to make a pitching change in this situation and continue to play their hand.
Logan Wade is 0 for 2, reached on an error by the third baseman in the second and flew out to right in the third. Big at bat here in the middle innings as the Bandits look to take their first lead of the ball game. And before the at bat, home plate umpire Tom West comes out and asks Kuniyoshi to remove a bracelet from his pitching hand. That should be pretty obvious, right? Can't do that.
Yeah, look, it just depends. And some guys pick it up, some guys don't. And obviously he picked it up early. Either Logan picked it up or someone picked it up from the Bandits and asked him to remove it.
It may have actually been on his glove hand, but if it's a fluorescent color, it can be a bit of a distraction. Here's Wade. Riley Unroe at second, Andrew Campbell at first, 2 down. The first pitch. Wade was ready for it, and he sent it straight back to the mask of the catcher, Perkins, 0-1.
And that's what you want to see. Logan switched around to the left side. He's swinging the bat extremely well from the left side since his return, and got a first pitch fastball in an early hack.
Kuniyoshi deliberate, making sure he's ready for this pivotal at bat. The righty comes set. The 0-1. Bounced in the dirt. Perkins gets in front of it and keeps the runners in place. We've seen some great play by both catchers in this series.
Yeah, both outstanding catchers. Perkins, a national team representative as well. Played pro ball for a number of years. I think he's still in affiliate baseball, but he is one of the better backstops for Australia.
One and one the count. The pitch. Inside, 2-1. With the righty now in the ball game, we'll see how Mitch Nielsen handles the next plate appearance. He's a switch hitter, but as we mentioned in his last at-bat, he's much more comfortable in his return from injury from the right side. He's in the on-deck circle hoping to get a chance here. The 2-1. Fouled straight back, 2-2. Bandits began this inning with a Riley Unruh single. After a pop-up, Andrew Campbell drew a walk. TJ Bennett struck out. And now Wade trying to give his team the lead. Kuniyoshi delivers. Bounced in the dirt again, and Perkins gets enough of it to keep the runners from advancing. 3-2 with 2 down. The runners will take off here. Again, Mitch Nielsen in the on-deck circle. Runners go, the 3-2. High fly ball on the infield right side. Second baseman Massey has it. Goes up above the lights, and it comes down into his glove for out number 3. Bandits threaten but do not score. They've left a man on in each of the first 5 innings. And we go to the 6th, tied at 1 here in Brisbane.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Yeah! Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
We'll all be.
Thank you, Archer!
Yeah!
Good boy, Archer.
Back at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. We have another pitcher's duel on our hands with Travis Blackley doing his part for the Bandits. It's 1-1 as we go to the top of the 6th inning. Blackley has allowed only 2 hits and 1 run, and he faces the top third of the Cavalry order, beginning with Michael Francoso. Francoso has one of those 2 hits, an RBI triple, and a line drive to center that Andrew Campbell dove for but couldn't come up with. First pitch in the lefty-lefty matchup misses up high, ball 1. Blackley at 73 pitches, 43 for strikes, and it's 2-0. The next to Francoso. There's a strike. Bandits have left 7 men on through the first 5 innings, including 3 in scoring position. Here's the 2-1. Hit high in the air, deep towards right field, but Ellis is there, and he makes the catch shy of the warning track for the first out. One down for Cam Warner. 0 for 1 with a walk and a fly to center. This is our last regular season Bandits.TV home broadcast. Tomorrow's doubleheader at 2:30 and 6 will be on ABL TV. And then in round 10, we expect to have audio-only broadcasts of the final 2 games against Geelong, Korea, as the Bandits hope to win some ball games and celebrate a playoff berth. 0-1 the count now to Cam Warner. Fouled at the plate, and the count is 0-2. The original plan was for all 4 of those games to be televised by the Korean network that is following Geelong, Korea, but they are not doing that. And rather than not have a broadcast at all, the Bandits have been generous and aggressive enough to expand the broadcast to take us on the road. So we will have coverage for you as much as we can. The 0-2 up high. Playoff broadcast plans are still being figured out, but one way or another, you will have full video coverage of the entire ABL postseason. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 4 for Travis Blackley, a Skyfleet Hino strikeout. 2 up, 2 down in the 6th inning. Blackley continues to cruise.
Yeah, once again, get a chance to see pitch location on the Suki Bowl replay. Outstanding location right there, and that's that pitch that just kind of backs away, so really kind of uses both sides of the plate extremely well. One with that inner half fastball and cutter, and then you run that 2-seamer that runs away from the righties.
Craig Massey is 0 for 2. He takes a first pitch fastball down and away. Sent foul, 1-1. Bandits are 19-14 on the year. 1 game behind Cavalry and the Blue Sox. Canberra 20-13, and they have the tiebreaker over Sydney by virtue of their sweep last week. Here's the 1-1. Hit on the ground, routine to second. High hop for Unruh, and it gets through him. Can't say it's routine until it gets through the baseline. And it hasn't been dragged in a couple innings. Looked like it took a high hop on Unruh, and even though he played it out in front of him, it found the right seam and got through him for what will likely be an error.
Yeah, just hard hit ball, and the ball that normally comes up with, but there's a lot of traffic area in that when you're talking about the 6th inning, so a lot of footwork, and the boots tend to mark up. It came up on him the last minute, and that keeps the inning alive.
Zach Wilson is 0 for 2. Cavalry in last night's ball game took great advantage of every Bandits miscue in the field. The 0-1 pitch. Hit high in the air, shallow right. Unruh out, he gives way to Ellis, and Ellis almost goes to a knee to make that catch. But he does so nonetheless, and it's a scoreless top of the 6th inning for Travis Blackley and the Bandits in the field. They'll get the bats going after this on Bandits.TV.
Can't you see my heart is lost without you? And your kisses make me love you more. And your kisses make me love you more. Can't you hear the sound of love and desire? Kiss me, baby, touch me.
Grand Cove Brisbane Bandits are tied against the Canberra Cavalry, 1 apiece as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Yuki Kuniyoshi got the final out of the 5th inning, stranding a pair, and he's back out there for the 6th. Kuniyoshi's success in the 5th inning means that Kyle Kinman will leave with a no decision. He went 4 2/3, allowing 1 run on 4 hits. No throwing in the Bandits bullpen. Why would you have anyone? Travis Blackley has been outstanding as usual, and here's a pinch hitter to begin the 6th inning. We suspected that Mitch Nielsen in his recovery from injury would not bat left-handed, and sure enough, Donald Lutz will be the pinch hitter in the 6th spot at DH. Lutz also pinch hit in last night's ball game. With the bases loaded, he flew out to left field in the 8th. First pitch misses outside, ball 1. Lutz, a former Cavalry player way back when. Also homered in Canberra earlier this season, one of his 3 long balls. The 1-0 pitch. In on the hands, rolled towards second. Massey fields and throws to retire the Bandits pinch hitter for the first out. One down for Danny De La Calle. De La Calle dropped down a successful sacrifice bunt his first time up, then struck out swinging in the 4th.
Once again, Canberra Cavalry pitching continued to stifle the Brisbane Bandits offense. Good pitching, good location, and they continue to show strength by strength. Every time a new arm comes out, they tend to get a little bit stronger.
First pitch. Fouled straight back.
But this is exactly what you want to see in playoff style baseball, and this is really it right now. You look at these two sides, everyone is in it. Who's going to take advantage of opportunities, and both teams are playing brilliant baseball right now.
Missing inside. With Lutz now in the ball game at DH, David Nielsen has only Dan Nielsen and Ryan Battaglia as bench options going forward. 1-1, fouled back. With the under 18s going on, the Bandits are without most of their development players. Two misses inside, 2-2. Danny got a couple RBIs last night in the 8th inning. He came up with the bases loaded and 2 down and hit a line drive to the right fielder Candelas. And it was pretty much right at him, but Candelas lost it in the lights. It went for a 2-run double. The 2-2 pitch. In on the hands, sent into shallow center. Second baseman Massey is out, and he makes the catch for out number 2.
You mentioned earlier in the piece with the development players being away at Nationals. Today was game 1 for both under 18s Queensland and under 16s Queensland.
Had a wild one.
Yeah, they had a tough one. The under 18s had a good showing. They went down 11-10 but played brilliant. And WA beat Queensland 7-4 in the under 16s, but both teams played well, and all reports are they look in good form and they'll rebound.
David Sutherland is 0 for 2. The big first baseman takes outside ball 1. Wind has died down. Blowing out at about 16 kilometers per hour at first pitch. Now the flags are hardly moving. 2-0 to Sutherland.
Absolutely gorgeous night tonight, and very fortunate to have great weekend projected again tomorrow night, another sold out event.
Two-0 pitch. Sutherland got a pitch to hit, but he sent it foul.
tomorrow night I'll acknowledge the Quebecs, the Queensland alumni actually have a group coming out, and it's former Bandits and ABL players from the past, and probably myself and David's era will be coming out in full force. So
very cool.
I'll hopefully have an opportunity to go and meet with them and wish them well.
The 2-1. Missing 3-1. Mitch Ellis waits on deck.
And that's one of the things that Brisbane's been very fortunate based on the history of this ballpark. There's a lot of Hall of Famers and both at Australian level and Queensland level that still engage, and a lot of their fathers now have sons on the field.
The 3-1 pitch. Sutherland got another pitch in the whomping zone, but sent it back 3-2.
That's probably one of the things I've seen over the years in the early stages of the Australian Baseball League. Brisbane used to play out of the RNA showgrounds, and when the new league started, and a lot of history in the RNA, but it's actually it's been a significant contribution to the sport playing here and seeing the capital investment here and now giving back to the grassroots programs.
3-2 pitch. Sutherland swings and foul tips into the mitt. It is a 1-2-3 6th inning for Yuki Kuniyoshi, and we go to the 7th. Still tied at 1 on Bandits.tv.
Careful, out there, champ.
How good is this?
There are the Outlaws. You won't find more passionate fans than them in the entire league. Maybe that's a controversial statement. They're pretty good to us, and they are making some noise again here tonight. Unfortunately, not a whole lot of noise on the field. It's been a pitcher's duel thanks to Travis Blackley and Kyle Kinman. Kinman out of the ball game. Blackley still in there as we begin the 7th inning in a 1-1 tie.
Yeah, we're very fortunate. They've been mainstays over the last three plus years, and they background in passionate football players and football fans. And when I refer to football, I'm talking soccer, and as it's referred to in Europe. But they get to that borderline of between banter and heckling, but they're a great group of gentlemen, and they really enjoy their baseball.
What's the line from the movie Spinal Tap? There's a fine line between stupid and clever. They're treading that line, and we love them.
Yeah, we love them. I tell you what, they bring a lot of energy and atmosphere to this ballpark, and I think at times they can be a distraction, and probably you'd have to consider them our 10th man.
David Candelas 0 for 2. He's behind in the count 0-1, and he hits a line drive to right field that will fall in front of Ellis for a base hit. Leadoff single, just the 3rd hit of the ball game for the Cavalry. They have the go-ahead run on base to begin the 7th inning.
Will be interesting right here because Krause, I mentioned, is a plus runner, and do they try to see if they can create some offense? We talk about taking control of a ball game. This is when managers will take command of a ball game and potentially put a bunt down and see if they can put a man in scoring position. That you do have left-handed hitter on deck, which is Mona Roa, so you may let Krause swing the bat or potentially see if they can generate some offense.
Krause is 0 for 2. He takes ball 1. No action in the Bandits bullpen. Blackley just crossed the 90 pitch threshold.
Big situation right here. See where Unruh is really pinching the bag for the double play. They're playing almost a borderline shift, but we saw that push bunt by Logan Wade last night. Krause mentioned plus runner. Does he look at, he won't be doing this now 2-0. He's probably looking at an opportunity to swing the bat, but opportunity for, with the pitcher falling to the third base side, he could push something potentially with Unrow pinching the middle.
Krause should get a good pitch to hit here. And there's the pickoff, and just getting in safely is Candelas with the right hand. Close play. From up here, it looked like the correct call. Blackley picked off 3 his last start, and this, very close.
Yeah, good position right there. You can see he's right on it, and he's only about a meter off the bag, so he's in really good position to make that call.
First base umpire is James Shields. Check swing foul. That's not what you want on 2-0 if you're in the plate.
Yeah, the Australian Baseball League did a really good feature on Blackley on his pickoff move and that tip. And I tell you what, it is a tough read, particularly when you're on first base and determining whether he's going home or coming over.
Candelas takes his lead. The pitch to Krause. He checks his swing, falling across the plate. 3-1. Boss Mo and Aroa waiting on deck. Krause swings and misses. It's a full count.
Really good pitch right there, and I think everybody in the stadium was holding their breath. You know, anytime you fall into a hitting count, and now it makes it full count with nobody out and runner on first.
Blackley has 4 strikeouts. Pickoff move. This time the throw a little bit on the infield side of the base. Had it been on the base, Candelas may have been out. Payoff pitch from Blackley. Krause takes up high, ball 4. Single, now a walk. And the Cavalry have a pair of base runners to begin the 7th inning.
See a little bit of action happening in the Bandits bullpen now. They're seeing a runner out. Looks like Matty Roxburgh is running out now just to get somebody heated up. So there will be some action in the pen, particularly with Monteroa at the plate. Not known for laying the ball down, but we are in the 7th inning, tied 1-1 with first and second, nobody out.
Boss Mo and Aroa 1 for 2 with a single his last time up. It was a single off the chest of the first baseman, David Sutherland. What would have otherwise been an out became a bad hop single.
Very deliberate inside move by Blackley right there, and really giving TJ an opportunity as a third baseman and Sutherland to see if he's going to square early.
No sign of a bunt there, and the first pitch misses outside ball 1. Double-barreled action in the Bandits' pen. From the left side, Ken Frosch. From the right side, it's Matt Timms. From here, it looks like Timms may have trimmed his beard a touch. Maybe it's just the distance.
You're right, it's Timsy and Frosch up, obviously.
1-0, a foul tip. De La Calle comes out of the crouch and scares Krause into diving back at first.
We've seen De La Calle come up. He does like to load and fire, and potentially looking at a backdoor pick on Krause at first.
Blackley with a look towards second. The pitch to Mo and Aroa. Misses low, 2-1. Mo and Aroa is a potential double play candidate, to be certain. Blackley just needs an out. Blackley ahead of 100 pitches now. This will be 101. The pitch. Swing and a miss at what may have been ball 4. 3-2.
Be interesting to see. Obviously, Dingo will want this matchup right here. He'll want lefty-lefty, but I think if depends on the situation. Even if he gets the out, he may go the righty-righty combination, and particularly how high he is in his pitch count.
Payoff pitch coming to boss Moanaroa. He barreled it up, but was early, sending it foul down the first base line. Candelas at second, Krause at first. A single and a walk have begun the top of the 7th inning for the Cavalry. And now Travis Blackley wants a fresh baseball. Blackley readies the 3-2. Line deep to left center field. Bernard over in the gap. He hauls it in. Both runners went halfway, and neither will be able to advance as Moanaroa hit it hard. But Winton Bernard's speed tracks it down. That's the advantage of a guy like Winton Bernard being a late addition to the baseball team. He's a natural outfielder, which the Bandits have a shortage of right now.
Yeah, and he did a really good job, and it shows how much ground he's able to cover and how he reads the ball. An outstanding outfielder and out number 1, and if that ball gets in the gap, it potentially scores 2.
Kyle Perkins is 0 for 1. He's walked and reached on a fielder's choice. Infield still at double play depth with a bit of a pull swing for the right-handed hitter.
Now, Travis, one more.
Second baseman Unroe playing close to second. Perkins hits it high and deep to right field, but Ellis going back has a play and he makes the catch. Mitch Ellis with an outstanding catch up against the right field wall for the second out. Mitch Ellis is a third baseman, and we've seen him pressed into outfield duty. This is the finest play he's made out there.
Yeah, he did a really good job, and that's what you got to do. You got to go back and find the wall, and step in on the warning track there. And you got a little bit of room right there. Makes a really good catch. He's a good athlete, and that's a big out for the Brisbane Bandits, and that's out number 2 now with first man on first and third.
Lead runner Candelas played it well. He advances on the tag from second to third. Runners at the corners with 2 down for Kuki Aoyagi, who's 0 for 2 with a fielder's choice and a run scored. The first pitch on the inside corner, a called strike. Matt Timms is sat down. Ken Frosch is standing but not throwing. Blackley will get this batter. Maybe more. He hopes this is the final batter of the 7th inning. 0-1, chop to third. Bennett has it. He flips to second, and Travis Blackley works out of the jam. 7 solid innings for the lefty. He leaves as we stretch in Brisbane in a 1-1 tie.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like. Robots. But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip. Look, kids, nature. Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car, commute in a van pool, or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate.
And will you follow me to a place
You get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there, and you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
We return to Brisbane to the strains of Sweet Caroline, and we have a great game for you here tonight between the Bandits and the Cavalry. Right now it's tied up 1 apiece, thanks to Travis Blackley and his gutsy pitching performance on the tail end of his outing.
Yeah, we talked about in the beginning of the piece, in the beginning of the game, really Bandits, if they could generate some offense for him, he's been outstanding. Once again, he showed when he got a little bit of trouble right there, first and second and nobody out, was able to get out of a big jam, and that was a big inning for the Bandits, and let's see if now they can create some offense and support him for a win.
Yuki Kuniyoshi is back out there. He has faced 4 batters and gotten all 4 of them, getting the Cavalry out of a 2-runner jam in the 5th and pitching a 1-2-3 6th. He's going to face 9, 1, and 2 in the Bandits' order, beginning with Mitch Ellis, who made a great defensive play deep in right field on a drive that could have given Canberra the lead. Ellis 0 for 2 at the plate. He was robbed of a base hit on a line drive in the 2nd inning. Hit a foul pop to the first baseman in the 4th. And now he turns around. The switch hitter will bat from the left side for the first time tonight. First pitch at the knees, a strike. 1 run on 3 hits for the Canberra Cavalry, 1 run on 4 hits for the Bandits, and an error apiece. The 0-1. Ellis foul tips. It's a strike, and the count is 0-2. If that's it for Blackley, and it almost certainly is, based on his 103 pitch count, 7 innings, 1 run on 3 hits. The 0-2. Ellis takes up high.
I think the only thing that'll make that complete for him is the Bandits put up a crooked number here in this inning, and he's had an outstanding night once again for the Brisbane Bandits.
Lefty, righty, lefty in the top 3rd, and Ken Frosch was warming. That may be the play for the Bandits bullpen. 1-2 to Ellis. Off the plate, back to the pitcher with some spin. Kuniyoshi fields and throws to retire Mitch Ellis for the first out.
Yeah, really good play right there, and although it looked like a routine 2-hopper, it had a lot of spin on it, like you said, and the ball will still spin in your glove, and he did a good job of staying with it and finishing it with a good throw to first.
Riley Unrose had a nice night at the plate. Double and a run scored in the 3rd, and a single in the 5th. Batting average climbing up, now at .229. For the second baseman, newly a member of the Atlanta Braves organization. Unruh bats left-handed for the first time tonight, and he takes a called strike. Foul tip into the mitt, and the count is 0-2. Have to be impressed by Yuki Kuniyoshi so far. 5 up, 5 down.
His numbers don't tell the caliber of pitcher. He's got nasty stuff, and tell you what, he's come out and he's filthy, fastball and dirty splitty.
The 0-2. Unruh takes. That's a tough pitch to lay off of, down 0-2.
That really is, and you look at the caliber of pitchers coming out of Japan of late, and they all have been outstanding, marquee type guys, top of the rotation guys, and the one thing that's been very common is that splitty. And I don't know whether it's the transition of different mound styles or baseballs, but you see a lot of arm injuries, particularly the Tommy John.
1-2, a called strike 3, and Unruh thought it was outside. Second strikeout for Kuniyoshi after Kinman fanned 6. 2 up, 2 down in the 7th inning. It'll be left to Winton Bernard.
Once again, tough pitch, tough location, and not a lot you can do in that situation, especially when a guy shows you a dirty split and then all of a sudden he paints you on the other half at 92, 93 miles an hour. So say why he's a big in pitcher out of Japan.
Winton Bernard is 0 for 3. popped up to the pitcher his last time.
Canberra had some big acquisitions from their partnership with the Yokohama Bay Stars, and
Bernard takes low and away.
Bay Stars have produced a lot of good arms and a lot of good ball players, and Canberra was very fortunate in that partnership. And
1-1 count. Well, there is nobody warming for the Bandits in the bullpen with 2 down, so maybe Blackley will get a chance to go back out there for the 8th. Doubleheader tomorrow. Short-staffed bullpen already. They'll get as much as they can out of the lefty. 1-2 the count as Bernard went around on the check swing.
And that's filthy. And like I just showed you right there, he unable to hold up, but out of the hand looks like obviously the fastball, and the bottom just drops out of it. There's a pitcher for the Yankees out of Japan that does that a lot.
Masahiro Tanaka. 1-2. On the corner, called strike 3. A pair of strikeouts in a 1-2-3 7th inning for Yuki Kuniyoshi. And we go to the 8th. Still just 1 run on the scoreboard for each team. We're tied in Brisbane.
It's always been you.
It's always been us.
Travis Blackley is done after 7 excellent innings, and Ken Frosch comes on in an Alderley higher pitching change for the Bandits. Blackley will receive another tough luck no decision. The ERA dips to below 3 after 7 innings of 3-hit, 1-run ball for the lefty. He walked 3 and struck out 4. Most impressively, running out of gas in the tank, he put up a 0 in the 7th inning, stranding runners at the corners. And now Ken Frosch. In his first year in the ABL, he has been great. This will be the 18th game that he has appeared in. He's 1-0 on the year with a 1.29 ERA. He has 1 save on the season, and that may be the role that he slots into if no one else can take charge come playoff time. But right now he comes in a tie ball game in the 8th with the top third of the Cavalry order due up, 2 of them lefties. The left-handed hitting Michael Francoso will be followed by the second place hitter, right-handed hitting Cam Warner, then the lefty Craig Massey. That's the vantage point from the Outlaws down the third base line. Another packed house here at One Hub Stadium powered by Optus. Canberra took game 1 of round 9 last night. The Bandits trying to move into a tie atop the division with a win here in game 2. Michael Francoso accounted for the lone run of the ballgame for the Cavalry. An RBI triple in the 3rd. He is 1 for 3. You saw the batting average for Francoso. Well above 400. Pretty impressive for the shortstop.
Yeah, I like him defensively. You talk about plays of the game. Ellis came up in a big situation. He absolutely squared one up just to his right, and he was able to snare that, and that really stopped 2 runs from scoring and prevented the Bandits from jumping up on an early lead in the 1st.
He's behind 0-2 to the tough lefty Ken Frosch. Fouled back, and he hangs tough. Frosch has been equally effective against both lefties and righties. Lefties batting .233 against him, righties batting .250. Of course, Frosch, the lone lefty in the bullpen, has been primarily a lefty specialist, but he has had to get outs against right-handed hitters, and he will have to here in the 8th.
What makes him so tough, particularly on lefties, is when he toes the rubber, he's basically just on the edge on the first base side, so almost in your back pocket as a left-handed hitter, and then he comes from that 3/4 arm slot.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. He dispatches Michael Francoso quickly for the first out of the 8th inning.
That's it. It's a night.
Here comes Matt Timms. We stand corrected. It'll be just one batter faced for Ken Frosch, and he got him. A third of an inning. And Matt Timms will come on in a 1-1 tie, trying to keep it that way. Back after this on Bandits.tv.
Careful, out there, champ.
How good is this?
It'll be the veteran Matt Timms coming on for the Bandits after Ken Frosch got the first out of the 8th inning. Another Alderley higher pitching change for David Nielsen and company in the Bandits dugout. I'm a little surprised with this one by first blush, but Timms, you look at the numbers, and he has been the go-to guy since the injury of Luke Van Meel in the late innings. Sooner or later, he was going to come in, and they don't want to take any chances with Cam Warner coming up.
Yeah, they do. So Timms has been David's go-to guy in that setup role, and he's just going textbook baseball right here. Frosty did a good job to get the first hitter out, and now Timms is going to come in and continue to put zeros on the board to allow the offense to hopefully find a way to manufacture a run.
Timms allowed 1 run in 3 innings in Canberra a month ago. He has not allowed an earned run his last 6 outings. He was on the mound for the walk-off loss in Sydney a couple weeks ago, allowing a bases-loaded walk-off walk, but that run was not his responsibility. Made 2 appearances in the Auckland series, going an inning and 2/3, allowing a hit but no runs, and striking out 2. Cam Warner is 0 for 2. He drew a walk in the first, and he takes low ball 1. Opponents are batting .290 off of Timms this season. He's 2 for 3 in save opportunities, and the Bandits hand him a tie ball game here. The 1-0. Missing by just a little bit, and an audible groan from the home crowd. It's 2-0. The 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Went upstairs. That's a dangerous place to be in this ballpark. But Timms got Warner to swing and miss. Timms is ready for the 2-1. Down low, 3-1. I Thought Timms may have trimmed his beard when I saw him in the bullpen. Nope. Bushy as ever. Needs a strike here. The 3-1 to Warner. And he does get the strike. 3-2 the count. Craig Massey waiting on deck. The payoff pitch to Warner. Very high, ball 4. Tying runners aboard for the Cavalry, and here's Craig Massey, 0 for 3 on the night. But batting .299 on the season, his bat doesn't stay quiet for long.
No, it doesn't. Once again, Cavalry find a way late in the ball game. Put him in on first base with 1 out.
Warner was caught stealing, trying to swipe second last night. Same catcher, Danny De La Calle, behind the dish tonight. Bounce in the dirt, taking off to second is Warner, and the throw goes into center field. It almost hits a bird, and now it gets through Campbell. Rounding third and staying there is Warner. A comedy of errors for the Bandits, and now the go-ahead run is 90 feet away. Warner read the down angle to perfection. That's exactly what you want a base runner to do. I don't think a good throw could have gotten him at second. And now the infield comes all the way in. No margin for error with a 1-0 count to Craig Massey. High drive, deep to right center field. This ball is back, and it is gone. Craig Massey with a go-ahead 2-run shot in the 8th inning, and Canberra goes up 3-1. Late inning momentum shifter. As Craig Massey goes deep, we said that bat doesn't stay quiet for long, and he erupted here. He knew it as soon as it left the bat.
Yeah, tell you what, he got a pitch up in the zone. We talk about making mistakes, and he did not miss that. Now this makes this ball game 3-1 here in the 8th, and once again, Canberra continue to find a way to manufacture offense late in this game.
Zach Wilson leads the league in home runs. He's 0 for 3 tonight, and he sends the first pitch foul off the mask of the catcher De La Calle. De La Calle held the 0-1 but didn't get the call. The Bandits now need to come back to avoid dropping the first 2 games of this series at home. Sent back, and the count is 1-2. Paul Gonzalez, the Bandits don't want to go into the doubleheader tomorrow needing a sweep to retain that tiebreaker.
No, and I tell you what, we talked about, the pressures of this series and how well Canberra was playing coming in, and they continue to play good baseball and find ways to manufacture runs. And once again, here in the 8th, they put up a quick 2 spot.
Swing and a miss. There's a strikeout, but it comes a batter too late. Out number 2 in the 8th inning. David Candelas steps in. He's 1 for 3 tonight.
Get a chance to see the pitch again. Chase the pitch down in the zone, and when that pitch is on, it's tough to lay off. He got one up in the zone, and Canberra was able to capitalize.
Candelas drives it deep to right field. Ellis is back, and he's got it on the edge of the track for the 3rd out. But Craig Massey breaks the stalemate with a 2-run home run to give the Cavalry a 3-1 edge as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Bandits need a rally. We're back.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
We'll all be.
Thank you, Archer!
Yeah!
Good boy, Archer.
Yuki Kuniyoshi is still out there. He has faced 7 batters and retired all of them with 3 strikeouts. He's in line to give himself a victory here thanks to the heroics of Craig Massey, who bursts onto the scene with his first Canberra home run. And it was a no-doubter, Paul Gonzalez. That one was center cut, and he hit it to deep, deep right center field.
Yeah, we've seen an outstanding pitching battle between these two sides and very, very little offense. And we talk about 2 potent offensive lineups coming into this series, and up until that moment, it seemed both pitching staffs had each lineup's number, and one swing of the bat, we have a 3-1 ball game.
Andrew Campbell hasn't been retired yet. RBI single and a pair of walks in his 3 trips to the plate. Breaking pitch for a strike begins his at-bat. 3, 4, and 5 due up for the Bandits, the guys they want up trying to erase this sudden 2-run deficit.
And this is where champions have to rise up, so you're going to see the heart of the order for the Bandits, and seeing it's a very tough right-handed pitcher on the bump. Can they find a way to chip away and manufacture runs and either tie or get ahead in this ball game?
The 1-1. Taken just off the zone, 2-1. In this ballpark, even with no wind to speak of tonight, you get a man on and you send the tying run to the plate. Pretty much anyone in this lineup can send one out. Campbell chased what may have been ball 3. Instead, it's 2-2. Fouled straight back. Campbell hangs tough. Campbell, Bennett, and Wade due up for the Bandits here in the 8th inning. Kuniyoshi and company need to get 6 more outs. It was the 8th inning last night that saw the Bandits rally back. 2-2 pitch. Lifted foul left side. Campbell has the batting average up to .308. The 2-2. Line drive, base hit, left field, and that's how it has to start. The Bandits get their leadoff man on in the bottom half of the inning.
Once again, Soupy Campbell has another good at-bat, and anytime you see a left-handed batter that stays through the baseball that well, and obviously against a tough righty with a dirty split, really hard to stay on the baseball and able to shoot the ball in left field for a leadoff single for the Bandits.
Bennett's had a night to forget, 3 strikeouts. We said this about Craig Massey in the top half of the inning. It's tough to keep a bat like that quiet for long. And Bennett has had, thus far, a pretty unremarkable round 9 and can turn on a head with a big hit here. Breaking pitch for a strike, 0-2. Nothing going TJ's way tonight. Campbell at first has good speed, but the Bandits will be risk averse here, trailing not by 1 but 2 runs. That's a big difference. Outlaws making some noise. They still believe they've got the rally cap.
And the rally towels as well, so they've got everything happening up there.
0-2 to Bennett. Foul back. The 1-3 Cabs rally towels.
That's it.
I remember that from the beginning of the season.
It's very good.
Our thanks to 1-3 Cabs. Before the 0-2, Campbell chased back to first. Another 0-2 coming to TJ Bennett. He takes up high.
Once again, he can continue to show his command. 0-2. He got Perkins giving him a high pitch target, and as on target he was, so his control is amazing tonight.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Bennett down for the 4th time tonight. He's the first out of the 8th inning. Suki Bowl replay, and that's a pitch that TJ Bennett, when he's at his best, is going to hit very hard someplace.
Yeah, it did, and this good pitch, and what really set that up is the elevated fastball, so he changes the eye line, and all of a sudden then he throws that off speed or split ear or breaking pitch, and the eyes see it up and ends up down in the zone.
Logan Wade with a chopper to second, fielded by Massey. He throws to first for the 2nd out. That pushes Campbell to second. It'll be left to Donald Lutz, who of course has prodigious power, but now with a runner in scoring position, even if you can go into the 9th inning trailing by a run, that changes the mindset.
And it does, and this is a big at-bat for the Bandits and Donald Lutz. If he can find a way, it looks like they're going to have a chat. Very interesting here. They may...
It's Keith Ward. He's going to make the change.
Going to go lefty-lefty combo here. And once again, another righty. So they're going with the big leaguer.
It's going to be Madison Youngener. We saw him as the DH. He picked up a couple big hits in last night's ball game. He'll try and get a big out on the mound here. More on the righty after this on Bandits.tv. Alderley Higher pitching change for the Cavalry with the lefty Donald Lutz due up. Madison Youngener comes on. Former major leaguer, made quite an impression getting his first couple ABL hits last night with the bat. And he's going to try and do it all in this crazy world. He has a chance to get the final out of the 8th inning. If they leave him in, he may pick up a save with a 3-1 lead over the Bandits. Youngener, 28 years old, out of Augusta, Georgia. As I mentioned last night, made a few major league appearances with the Atlanta Braves. And he faces Donald Lutz, a former major leaguer himself. Lutz entered as a pinch hitter in the 6th inning and grounded out to second.
Over the fence.
First pitch misses, ball 1.
Come on, Lutzy. They're singing for you, mate. Let's go.
Donald Lutz has 3 home runs on the year, one of which came against the Cavalry. The 1-0. Down and away, 2-0. Looks like Ryan Searle warming in the Bandits bullpen. He may get the 9th. Hitters count for Lutz. The 2-0. 3-0. First base is open. Danny De La Calle waits on deck. Lutz may get the green light here. Looking for a strike to drive. It's ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to Donald Lutz. The tying runner is on base for Danny De La Calle. The inning began with Andrew Campbell's line drive single to left. A strikeout and a ground out followed. And now De La Calle 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt in the 2nd. And then a strikeout and a pop-up to second.
If there was a time you'd want to see him square one up to his abilities, right now would be.
Tried to square that one up. He swings and misses.
To young years, shown us both talent with the bat, and he's got a really good arm from the bump, hence why played in the big leagues, but big at bat for De La Calle against a tough righty.
Runners will be off on contact with 2 down. Youngener's 0-1. De La Calle chased at a pitch that was well in front of the plate in the dirt, 0-2. Two strikes to Danny De La Calle. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Foul tip into the mitt, and the Bandits strand another 2 runners on base in a scoreless 8th inning. We go to the 9th. Cavalry trying to win their 2nd straight on the road against the champs. They lead at 3-1.
Careful, out there, champ.
How How good is this?
So far, the story tonight for the Bandits: missed opportunities. They leave 2 more men on in the 8th. And the difference in the ballgame, Craig Massey's first home run with the Cavalry, a go-ahead 2-run shot in the top of the 8th. Matt Timms back out there. And seeing as this is the final Bandits.TV home video broadcast of the year, Paul and I would like to thank Keith Williams, Nathan German, Jaden Garito, Reese Madam, Brad Williams, Danny Webb, Akil Singh, The Warlock, and Josh Hale for their tireless work and the Hailstorm production crew, bringing you Bandits TV all season long. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. You make us all look and sound good.
Yeah, Eric, and I want to thank you. It's first year with the Bandits, and it's been an absolute pleasure working with you this year. And once again, we can't acknowledge enough the work that Josh and Hailstorm and the crew put together. I think we've got one of the best production teams in the country, and I'm obviously biased, but it was a pleasure working with you, Eric, this year, and look forward to hopefully working with you in the future.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. Hopefully we have some playoff baseball as well in our future as the Bandits look for their 4th consecutive ABL championship. First pitch misses low ball 1 to Michael Kraus, 0 for 2 with a walk. 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Cavalry. Kraus, Moanaroa, and Perkins looking to add an insurance run or 2 here in the top of the 9th inning. Check swing on appeal. He didn't go. It's 2-0. We saw Ryan Searle warming, but there's nobody throwing now in the Bandits' pen. Timms will get to start the 9th inning. He hopes to finish it, and he hopes his offense can get him off the hook and win this one late. 3-0. None of them have been close.
This is a guy you don't want to walk. He's like I mentioned, he's a plus runner, and he runs the base extremely well. So Timms will have to find a way to get himself back into this at bat.
The 3-0, right down the middle. There's a strike. Bandits will have 8, 9, and 1 due up in their order in the bottom of the 9th inning. Sutherland, Ellis, and Unruh, with Battaglia and Nielsen on the bench if they need them. Timms trying to come all the way back, now has the count at 3-2.
Yeah, good job right there, and falls into a hitting count and able to make a good pitch right there.
Payoff pitch. Called strike 3. It's important to get that first out, and Timms gets his second strikeout, Skyfleet Hino strikeout, as he retires Kraus after falling behind 3-0. Generous frame there on the outside corner, but that's why you get a good defensive catcher.
Yeah, good job by Delakai right there. Kraus asked Tommy West if that was on the other half and came up, and like veteran player just nods his head, and he got out number 1 for the Bandits.
Boss Moanaroa's turn. He's 1 for 3. He takes a borderline pitch low for a ball. Moanaroa takes, and the count is 2-0.
Oh, that's a strike.
Timms trying not to get in a habit of falling behind every batter. He'll have to throw something good to Moanaroa here. Instead, he throws a ball 3-0, back-to-back 3-ball counts. It's a doubleheader tomorrow, 2:30 and 6 local time. Final 2 home games of the regular season for the Bandits. And the broadcast will be on ABL TV. 4-pitch walk to Moanaroa. He will trot down to first. That is an important run the Bandits must keep from scoring.
And you're right, and the reason behind that is you want to have your guy on deck is a tying run. If you can get your leadoff man on or any runner on, you always give yourself an opportunity with one swing in the bat to tie this ball game. So it's important for Timsy and the Bandits to prevent another run from scoring tonight.
Kyle Perkins is 0 for 2 with a walk. He swings the first pitch and hits a chopper that finds a seam on the left side of the infield, and it turns into a base hit. couple feet to the left or to the right, and it's an inning-ending double play. Instead, it's a base hit with Mo and Aroa checking in at second base.
Yeah, once again, like you said, just finds that 5-6 hole and a bouncer through the left side of the field. And once again, looks like Canberra are going to have a batting change here, obviously with an opportunity to potentially tack on another run.
Robbie Perkins, catcher utility man, comes on. Mo and Aroa at second. Kyle Perkins at first. Kuki Aoyagi had gone 0 for 3. First pitch to Robbie Perkins, misses up and away, ball 1. Aoyagi was in left field, so that's where Perkins will be unless Keith Ward switches some things around for the bottom of the 9th inning. Pitch misses low, 2-0. Perkins, a Canberra native, 24 years old. The 2-0. Fouled off the mask of De La Calle, and that one stung him. He's had a couple of those tonight. The doubleheader tomorrow. He just needs to get to Sunday. Take another look.
He's a big unit, I tell you what. Like Tyson hitting you right in the jaw, and he's taking a beating, but he's a tough guy, and he hangs in there.
The 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
And that's the pitch, Timsy, when it's on. It's probably one of the toughest pitches in the ABL to hit, and just got to try to find the consistency and the command of that pitch. Keep these hitters off balance.
Tim's got a strikeout for the first out. Looking for a strikeout or a double play here. Perkins turns away and it hits him. With 2 strikes, Timms hits Robbie Perkins, and that will load the bases for the dangerous Michael Francoso.
Just a pitch got away, a little two-seamer in, and just ran in on him and did a good job of just staying in there and turning his back to the ball. And now that loads the bases with 1 out here in the 9th.
Francoso is 1 for 4 with an RBI triple back in the 3rd inning. Infield playing back at the double play depth. Not all the way in. So if it's hit to the corners, they'll try and go to second, it appears. Mo and Aroa at third, Perkins at second, Perkins at first. First pitch driven in the air to center field. In the ballpark, but deep enough to score another run. Tagging from third is Mo and Aroa. The throw goes into third, and the Cavalry get an insurance run. They now lead it 4-1. Good, solid, fundamental baseball, something that Canberra has simply been better at than the Bandits these last 2 nights.
Absolutely. We talk about the ability to take advantage of opportunities and manufacture runs, and that's a good at-bat right there. It's an out, but it manufactures the 4th run of the game, and now it makes it 4-1 here in the 9th.
Here's Cam Warner. Trail runners also advanced. Kyle Perkins at third, Robbie Perkins at second. Warner 0 for 2 with a pair of walks. Chases a high fastball, swings and misses. The 0-1. Pitch misses up and away. Now with a 3-run deficit for the Bandits, they need more than a bloop and a blast. Again, it will be Sutherland, Ellis, then the top of the order, and Riley Unruh due up for Brisbane. The 1-1. Hit on the ground towards short. Wade fields and throws to retire Warner and the Cavalry in the top of the 9th inning. But Canberra adds 1, and they take a 4-1 lead to the bottom of the 9th here in Brisbane.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like. Robots. But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip. Look, kids, nature. Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car, commute in a van pool, or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate. Get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there, and you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
We go to the last of the 9th inning here in Brisbane. Canberra Cavalry turn to their closer, Tomoya Mikami, protecting a 4-1 lead. Paul Gonzalez, we saw Mikami in last night's ball game. That was not a save situation, but he pitched like it was, retiring the Bandits in short order. This is an Alderley higher pitching change.
Yeah, and it worked out really well. He wasn't overtaxed. It probably gave him another opportunity to get on the bump and fine-tune his craft, and once again he comes into a save situation. And one thing I did see in that one outing, and his stuff is nasty.
Defensive change as well. Robbie Perkins entered as a pinch hitter in the 9 spot for the left fielder Kuki Aoyagi. Perkins stays in the ball game, but as the new catcher. The starting catcher, the similarly named Kyle Perkins, is now out in left field in Aoyagi's spot. Madison Younginer faced 2 batters, walked 1, struck out 1. He's in line for the hold, and Yuki Kuniyoshi, with his 3 scoreless innings of relief, is in line for the victory tonight. Elsewhere in the league, the Melbourne Aces defeated the Adelaide Bite by a score of 4-0. Melbourne now 19-14, the exact record that the Bandits have right now, but if they lose, Brisbane will fall to 19-15, behind Melbourne in the standings. Adelaide back to 17-16 as David Sutherland takes a strike. And I guess after these opening losses for the Bandits, if they can't hold on, you kind of change your perspective and your goals for the rest of the season. You want to make sure you get in the playoffs, period.
That's it. And you know, we talk about the back end of seasons, can't take any for granted.
Chop to second, high hop for Massey. He throws to first. Sutherland retired. That's an 0-for-4 night. And the Bandits are ahead of Adelaide right now. Adelaide falling to 17-16. So the Bandits have a 2-game edge on them, even if they lose tonight. But you don't want to be in the wild card round. You don't want to be the visiting team in that wild card game. Here's Mitch Ellis 0-for-3. Ellis swings the first pitch, hits a pop-up, left side out of play. Feel for Travis Blackley, who has given his team consistently good starting pitching every round. Ellis swings and misses 0-2, but Blackley has only a 2-2 record. Both of his starts against Canberra, he pitched well enough to earn a win. 13 innings and 1 earned run across 2 starts against the Cavalry. 0-2, driven in the air to left. Long run for Kyle Perkins, but he has it, and he makes the catch for the second out.
Good piece of wood by Ellis, but unfortunately not deep enough. And once again, Canberra put 2 quick outs on the board here in the 9th with the Bandits trailing 4-1.
It'll be left to Riley Unruh as the Bandits are down to their final out. Unruh 2 for 4 tonight with a single and a double. Unruh trying to reach base some way, somehow, with Winton Bernard behind him. Bernard will be tasked with doing the same thing, trying to get Andrew Campbell to the plate, who would represent the tying run. Unruh takes a strike, 1-1. McCamey from the wind. 1-1 pitch, a big swing and a miss as Unruh goes to a knee. McCamey's 1-2 pitch. Chopped foul. Again, a doubleheader coming tomorrow. First pitch at 2:30 and 6 local time. We'd love to have you at the ballpark, but if you can't make it, video stream will be available on ABL TV. Bandits round 10 will be in Geelong against Geelong Korea. First 2 games on ABL TV, final 2 here on Bandits.tv. 1-2, grounded up the middle. Brisbane is still alive. Riley Unruh picks up his 3rd hit of the night. Winton Bernard will have to repeat the feat, getting on base to extend the ball game.
Good job of hitting there by Unruh to keep the inning alive with 2 outs. And once again, never really see comfortable swings against the righties. Everything's down in the zone and just great location.
Bernard 0 for 4. He takes off the corner ball 1. If you're looking for silver linings, using McCamey in these first 2 games means he may be out of commission for one of the games tomorrow. 2-0. Bandits looking for some hometown magic. The 2-0 pitch. Fouled back. The 1-3 Cavs rally towels are still going up in the outlaw section. The 2-1 pitch. Check swing, it gets away from the catcher Perkins, no matter. The count is 3-1. Andrew Campbell, the tying run, waits on deck. McCamey set at the letters. The 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Good pitch to hit. Bernard couldn't connect, and once again it's final strike time for the Bandits. Unruh will take off as soon as he's sure McCamey delivers home. Now time called as Bernard tries to disrupt the rhythm. He'll tighten the batting gloves, grip the bat, and step back in. Payoff pitch to Bernard. Lined into center field, and it hangs up for Krause, who makes the catch for the final out. The Canberra Cavalry win one late on the road, getting an 8th inning go-ahead home run from Craig Massey to take the first 2 games of this series against the 3-time defending champs. Cavalry will be at the very least in a tie for first place by the end of the night, and they may be alone at the top of the Northeast Division. The Bandits now are backsliding into 3rd place, and with the looming doubleheader tomorrow, they badly need a sweep. Cavalry win it by a score of 4-1. The win will go to Yuki Kuniyoshi. The loss will go to Matt Timms, and the save goes to Tomoya Mikami. Paul Gonzalez, perhaps our final home broadcast of the year. The Bandits will have to win some ball games for us to get back on these mics. Any final thoughts from this game and this year in general?
No, look, thank you once again and to the Hailstorm team for a great year in the commentary box on Bandits TV this year. Acknowledge Canberra Cavalry. These 2 games have been outstanding. They've played well played. They've executed well, and their pitching has done an outstanding job both as starters and out of the bullpen. So a credit to the organization. They're playing good baseball. They showed that they were playing good baseball when they swept Sydney, and we see now why they are one of the top teams and contenders for the Claxton Shield this year.
Thank you, Paul. Thanks again to the Hailstorm crew for all their assistance on the camera and off as we wrap things up here at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. Big doubleheader coming tomorrow, but the Cavalry win it tonight by a score of 4-1. This is Eric Bramer signing off. Thanks for watching, and catch us for the Twin Bill on Saturday.